This is my 2003 Toyota Mr2 Spyder Restoration. I had let it sit for over a year because I had been traveling a ton and it wasn't that practical. And apparently there was a small leak in it, so water got in, got a little rusty and some mold in it. So I started by cleaning it, but then I decided I was going to try and start it. It did not sound good, so I took off this brace so I could get into the engine. I decided I was going to take off the valve cover and change both the coil packs and the spark plugs. Here I am removing the coil packs. There's quite a few bolts I had to take off for that. And then after that, I noticed there was some oil on it, so that made me think I needed to change the valve cover gasket. Here's the old spark plug still in there, which I am going to change next. First, I went to AutoZone to get the parts I needed. New coil packs, new spark plugs, and then a spark plug socket and extender. Now I'm removing all the old spark plugs. The first one, same one, had a little oil on it. The other three were fine. I vacuumed it up to make sure nothing got into the chambers. And then here's me installing the new spark plugs, making sure I don't tighten them too much because apparently breaking off spark plugs is not fun. And now they're all installed, so I have to remove the valve cover so that I can replace the gasket. There's quite a few bolts, had to take off a couple hoses for this, but fairly simple. Here's what it looks like underneath. You can see the black valve cover gasket in there. I cleaned it up nicely. And then I removed the old gasket. It was kind of hard and brittle, so that's definitely a sign that it's not working well anymore. And then I put in the new shiny blue one, which should work much better. Now I'm putting on the gasket back on top, making sure I put all the bolts back in. Thankfully, there was none left over at the end, and reattaching the hoses. This last two bolts have a kind of a built-in washer, so they come with a replacement with the gasket, so I was taking that off. Now I'm reinstalling the new coil packs and just bolting them on, and then putting the cover back on, attach the battery, put a seat in. Now it's time to start it.